Welcome to this session. My name is Krunal Thakur and welcome to GS Core. In this session, we will be talking about one day, one answer. It is a daily answer initiative and the subject is Indian society. And today's topic that we are going to discuss is collaboration between government, NGO and the private sector in socio-economic development. One of the question that was asked last year was this. In 2024, this question was asked in GS paper 1. And the question is, in dealing with socio-economic issue of development, what kind of collaboration between government, NGO and private sector would be most productive? So there are two aspects of this question. One is socio-economic issues, means socio-economic problem of development, and another aspect is collaboration between government, NGO, and private sector. And hence, our topic today is collaboration between government, NGO, and private sector in socio-economic development, so that we will cover the entire issue as well as how we are going to approach the answer to get the maximum marks in the examination. So let's look at the answer, how we are going to frame the answer and what can be the concept behind this question. So first we will deal with socio-economic issue and then collaboration. So here the core demand of the question is discuss the major socio-economic issue of development like poverty, uneducation, gender disparity, etc. And then we will look at examination of what kind of collaboration between government, NGO and private sector would be most productive in dealing with socio-economic issue of development. So first issue is socio-economic issue and the second aspect is collaboration between government, NGO and private sectors. Now let's examine the issues first. There are many kind of issue, many kind of problem our society is facing. In the path of development, many problems become barrier, and that barrier, one of the barrier is poverty, and one of the barrier is lack of education, lack of literacy, gender disparity, etc. The first issue that come across is lack of income or poverty and inequality. So if you took some data, so according to Oxfam 2023 report, in India the richest 5% control over 60% of the country's wealth, means top 5% of the people who are very rich, they are controlling over 60% of the resources of the country. It means it is very wide inequality gap. Inequality gap is very wide, means rich portion of the population and the poor portion of the population, between them the gulf is very high. It is showing the inequality which is existing in India. It means very few people are very rich and large number of people are ingrained in poverty, lack of income, lack of sufficient income to fulfill the demand, their need. Okay, first. Second is education. Now, what kind of literacy rate are there in our country, or what kind of education, quality education, non-quality education, vocational education, academic education? So basically, we are talking about the basic education. Here, we can see that some of the data, it says annual status of education report as of 2023, it found that in rural India, only 25% of the youth can read class 2 level text in their regional language. It means majority of the portion, 25% means big amount. So 25%, only 25%, only 25% can read class 2 level text. It means 75%, like 75% of the population in the rural area, they are not able to read class 2 level text. It means literacy education is very low in rural India. It is also talking about the disparity in education level. So second aspect, socio-economic problem, societal developmental problem is education that we have today. The third aspect is healthcare. If you want your country to be in a good part of development, then you need to focus on healthcare also. The availability of health facility, availability of doctors, availability of basic instrument in the hospital, availability of hospital itself, healthcare infrastructure should be there. So as per healthcare report, as per the National Sample Survey Registration survey data, it says India's maternal mortality rate Maternal mortality rate means mother while giving birth, how many mothers are dying, how many percentage of the mother are dying. So India's maternal mortality rate was 97 per 1 lakh live birth in 2018-20. So 2018 to 20 data says that like in 1 lakh childbirth, approximately 97 in 1 lakh childbirth, approximately 97 mothers are dying. It shows we need better healthcare access, better healthcare access. The facility is needed in our country. Healthcare facility is there. So there is a disparity in healthcare facility also. In some segment of the society, they are having good amount, good availability of healthcare facilities within, but in larger part of the population, they don't have even basic access to healthcare facilities. Now the next aspect of societal problem is unemployment. According to annual PLFS report, the estimation of unemployment rate on usual status for person of age 15 years and above for 2022-2023 was 2%. So these are some of the data and some of the problem that we can discuss. Like you can discuss poverty, you can discuss about education, you can discuss about the health facilities, you can discuss about the unemployment and unemployment rate in India. So these social paradigms are there, societal developmental growth problems are there. And to solve that problem, we need basic infrastructure. We need some efforts from some segment of the society and government and the private sector. So what can be done? So if you look at another problem that we have is housing and infrastructure. Without proper housing, you cannot ensure good nutrition, good health facilities, good education level, good stable life. So if you look at like in big cities also, over 40% of Mumbai's population live in a slum. It's showcasing the need for better urban planning and infrastructure. Over 40% of the population in Mumbai or in Delhi or in big cities, they are living in a slum area, means inhygienic area. It means not good infrastructure for the housing facilities. So we can say that here in terms of housing also we are not at good level. So it have definite have impact on our society. The next major issue is gender equality issue. And here we are lagging behind. We are lagging behind in society. If we are not giving justice to gender, it means the society is not progressing in a way that it possesses the main potential. So here we can say that India ranked 129th out of 146 country in a global gender gap report 2024. It means we are very poor performer. It highlighting significant gender disparities. So in terms of gender parity, in terms of gender equality, we are not at good position. It is also highlighting the problem in India, like what kind of a problem that we have. Another issue is social security. You know, social security, like when you are going to retire, when you are getting retirement, then what kind of benefit that you are receiving? Are you getting pension? Are you getting provident fund? Are you getting some kind of a facilities or some kind of a security from the government or the company you are working in or the community that you are living in? That is social security. So in India, what is the status? Less than 10% of India's workforce in informal sector. You know, like majority of the portion of India is working in informal sector. And in that also less than 10% only of the India's workforce in informal sector has access to social security benefit. It means we are having millions of people which are vulnerable, which are actually working but working in informal sector, and after retirement or after getting old age, they are not having any access to good fund, they are not having access to pension, insurance and that kind of a facilities, and they are being vulnerable. So social security is also not there for many people of India. So this is also one of the main issues. So these are some of the issues. We can mention some of the issue and then we can move to the next part of the question, like what kind of a collaboration is appropriate in which kind of a situation. So if you look at the concept of collaboration, now we will look at the type of collaboration in socio-economic development. So, what kind of a party are there? Government can be there, NGO and private sector can be there, or some pressure group, and many section of the society can be there. But in this question, they are specifically asking about the government, NGO, and the private sector. So, in this, what kind of a collaboration is appropriate, and how we are going to write the answer? Let's look at that aspect also. So, resource pool, the concept resource pool is very helpful here. What it says that private sector bringing their resources, NGO bringing their intention and resources, and the government is bringing their resources. They are pooling the resources and then utilizing wherever it is needed, in which sector is needed, or in which area it is needed, and that is how we are fulfilling the gap of socio-economic development. How? Let's look at the first concept. The first concept is resource pooling. What it says, it is saying that combining financial, human, and technological resources. So we are combining all the resources. Combining financial, human, and technological resources from all sectors is essential to address socio-economic challenges comprehensively. For example, Prime Minister Awas Yojana that pool government funding with private sector expertise. So government funding and private sector expertise and NGO outreach to provide housing for the underprivileged section of the society. So this is the example of resource pooling. So here with the help of collaboration, we are pulling the resources and we are fulfilling the need to fulfill the gap. So let's look at first kind of collaboration that we can see in a society is public-private partnership. It is also called as PPP model. What is it? So it is a formal agreement. What is public-private partnership in this context? It is a formal agreement where government and private sector companies work together to deliver public services or infrastructure. So government and private sector both are coming together, they are collaborating, formal agreement is there, and they are providing infrastructure or any services for which they are having a collaboration. Example, like building highway or building airport. So private company, in many times private company running healthcare facility under government supervision, that is also public private partnership. What is the benefit of that? So they are combining public funding with private sector efficiently. That is the first example of collaboration, first type of collaboration. Now the next collaboration is government NGO collaboration. Have you seen sometime like government and NGO, they are collaborating and serving the society. So here NGO partner with the government to implement welfare scheme and connect with the marginalized communities. Example, so sometime, many time NGO providing midday meal in school, and that is how they are serving. So they are taking the help of government, taking the help of NGO, and then serving some objectives like Akshay. So have you seen like Akshay Patra in government, or some like Gurudwara is having some kind of a, they are having some civil society and then they are serving the society. They are taking the help of government also. So you can give that example. Now next is NGO. Next example is NGO assisting health awareness campaign also. Like in polio eradication, some NGO is coming and then they are doing some activities so that polio is eradicated. What is the benefit? So here benefit is it is utilizing NGO grassroots reach and expertise. So here government is utilizing NGO to reach the grassroots level and to do some object to fulfill some objectives of the society. Next type of collaboration is private sector NGO collaboration. So here government NGO. So second type was government NGO collaboration. Now third is private sector and NGO collaboration. So here private company is collaborating with NGO. Private company collaborating with NGO to implement their corporate social responsibility initiative. So, the concept, like every corporate, they have like big corporate public sector, public limited company, they are having this concept as corporate social responsibility. They are utilizing some fund for the society welfare. They can use for that purpose the civil society, or they use NGO also. Example, a company funding an NGO to set up school in rural area. If company is funding some NGO so that they can set up school in rural area, that is an example of private sector and NGO collaboration. Or have you seen some private hospital? Some private hospital working with NGO for free medical camp. Free medical camp, they are running free medical camp. So that is also an example. Now, the fourth concept is multi-stakeholder collaboration. So here, all the three entities, government, NGO, and private sector, they work together so that they can reach the common goal. For example, Swachh Bharat Mission. In that, government give fund and government is providing policy. NGO is spreading the awareness about the sanitation, and private sector is building toilet under corporate social responsibility. So this is an example of multi-stakeholder collaboration. Now next is informal collaboration. Informal collaboration, in that what happened, like stakeholder work together without formal agreement, no formal agreement, but they are working together often at the community level. For example, local business funding community NGO to clean village or build a park. Or another example is voluntary based initiative involved government support. And what is the benefit of that? So it provides flexible and easier to take initiative for the welfare of the society. Next is knowledge and technology partnership. Here what happened? Private sector provide technology and expertise to help government or NGO. For example, tech company helping NGO to digitalize health records. Another example is Aadhaar based benefit distribution by government and private IT firms. What is the benefit? Here the benefit is it ensure innovation and scalability. Number seven is advocacy and policy collaboration. In that, what happened? NGO and private sector work with the government to shape policy and advocate for the change. Example, NGO lobbying for a women's right laws. Or another example is private sector pushing for green energy policies. What is the benefit here? Here, it lead to inclusive and progressive policy making. So these are some of the collaboration. Another example is emergency and disaster relief collaboration. Here, they are getting collaboration effort to address crisis. Like all the sector are coming for the collaboration so that they can serve the society in crisis, like flood, pandemic, earthquake. They are collaborating and serving the society, helping the society to come out of it. So that is like what is the example here? So government, NGO, and company providing relief during COVID-19, or NGO distributing food funded by private company during natural disasters. What is the benefit here? Here benefit is rapid response and resource mobilization. So here that is how you can show. First of all, you can show like what are the inequality, what are the socio-economic problems, societal problems, and then you can go for collaboration, type of collaboration. After mentioning that, after mentioning this, you can give another dimension, that is challenges. So in this collaboration network, it looks very good, but what are the challenges? This can be challenges. Mistrust, if the coordination is not going well, then it is having a mistrust, it is having impact on the public and the welfare efforts also. Here we have regulatory bottlenecks also, we are having corruption, we are having lack of transparency. That is why it get challenged to attain the objective. Another is resource imbalances, like the area which need the most resources are not getting that much of resources. The area which are having more problem, the resources not allocated there, resource imbalances are there, and the finally accountability issue that lead to corruption, lack of transparency. So there are some challenges you can mention about the challenges, and then after mentioning the challenges, you can give your recommendation for effective collaboration. So one of the recommendation is define clear objectives. So whenever you are giving any responsibility to any segment of the society, there is a need to build or define the clear objective. Building trust, some effort should be there so that public can trust, or the segment of the society is trusting on the scheme, on the program. Strengthening the capacity, giving training, giving funding, giving resources, adequate resources, so that capacity is strengthened here. And finally, very good and effective monitor and evaluation can lead to good feedback, and then reform is happening in the implementation of the program also, and very effective collaboration can be seen. So that is how you can mention the challenges, and after that you can conclude your answer. And in final statement, you can say that like there are many type of collaboration are there, many type of problems are there. To fulfill that problem, to achieve the objective, so that problem can be solved, we have to balance the approach, like which kind of collaboration should be appropriate, and which cases it is case by case approach, it is situation based approach. And the combined effort of all the stakeholders can ensure that India's development is both, it is inclusive and equitable. The benefit is reaching to the vulnerable section of the society also, and compensating them also, so that we can take the population of India, the country, in a developmental path, and we can meet the diverse needs of its population as per the requirement. And that is how you can mention the conclusion, you can write the conclusion, and you can wind up the question, and you can go to the next question. So here we are completing this segment, like collaboration, type of collaboration and socio-economic problems. And this is it from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you.